Sorry, it's actually a little bit late, but I'm here. Sorry about the delay, but it is that time on a Thursday night, and we can actually chat about some football together. Let's go. Let's go. All right. This is the weekly little show that I do on this channel with the Bolt Bros, and we got a little bit of some things to talk about here. Like Omarion Hampton actually had a pretty good game or practice the other day. And I want to talk a little bit about that. And there's been obviously some absences in practices this past week leading up to the upcoming game. And also, I'm a little concerned about that because we also have the cut date coming up around the corner as well. Because, hey, let's face it, this is the last preseason game this weekend. And all these injuries is not going to help. So, let's just chat a little bit about who's in and who's going to be out potentially of this thing. So, all right, guys. So let's just get into it. And as always, Bolt Bros, let's go.
What's up, Kermit, man? You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Shout out blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, leave stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic Supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
All right, guys. Yeah, okay, so we got a couple people in the chat here. Welcome to the show, Miguel, Pappy, and so whoever else might be in the chat right now, so yeah, man, hope you guys are having a good week. And yes, I honestly did just get off work, so I didn't have really much time to change. So yeah, appreciate the compliments, guys. As always, I was bolt up a little bit at work, got my necklace there, so I can't deny the fact that I bring the Chargers to work every single day. The Chargers on my mind every single day, guys. Every day. Not just for you, but for my own sake and for my own sanity. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, actually, I did want to make a quick announcement, actually. So I did just today launch the fact that we now have memberships on the channel. Yes. That's right. So now you guys can get on top of this BBC and join the Bolt Bros Club. You know what I'm saying? And once you go Bolt, you never go back. You know what I'm saying, bros? Yeah. So you can officially do it. Honestly, look, it's not a requirement at all. We don't expect anyone to do it. We're just like, you know what? May as well just do it. It's just $5 a month or like that. And you're going to be able to get. You get some emojis, you get a badge for doing it, and you'll be able to get member, super chats essentially. So it'll kind of put you on the top of the list, and for things you'll always be able to get top priority for comments and questions and things like that. So, but yeah, so I just said, let's just release it to the world and get this thing started. So we may as well. But obviously you guys just let me know, if it works out, great. If not, we may end up, not necessarily scratching it or whatever like that, but we can always put in other levels, other memberships or whatever like that later on down the road. If people so desire or ask, or they just want to use the emojis or something like that, so anyways, but it's just something fun. I was like, you know what, let's just turn this thing on and we can talk about it a little bit, so. But the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the fact that we have a giveaway going for a free hat. I'm about to put it in the chat right there. Because nobody won in the the last week's game for the score predictions thing, I just said, okay, let me just run a giveaway that anyone can sign up for, and I'm going to reveal the winner before or at the start of the Niners game, and I'll send them an email, let them know that they won, let them pick a hat, and all that stuff. So yeah, but that'll be good. It'll be real good. So yeah, and we got some new merch in the store too. If you have thank you, Miguel, for putting that in the chat here. So yeah, if you go to this link right here, you should be able to look at our store. We did drop some new merch in there. We're working on a couple other designs right now. So, but yeah, we're having some fun with that, So yeah, so anyways, so let's get into the real reason why you wanted to actually talk about this show, or watch this show. So like, yeah, it's Omarion Hampton. Apparently he had a pretty big practice just the other day, like 2 days ago, actually, on the 19th. He kind of seemed to have proven why the Chargers picked him and stuff like that. Because frankly, let's be honest, we have not seen much out of him in the preseason at all. Like they've been really, really cautious about letting him run one wild out there and stuff. In fact, every single time I bet on him in the sleeper app, I keep losing. I keep losing a couple bucks here. So, yeah, man, and it's been pretty interesting. So like he's starting to shine, starting to blow up, and then start to get that glimmers of greatness or whatever like that. And so, Coach was praising him, talking about his that he's got good vision, good work ethic. And of course, as expected, talking about how he's going to have a big role, on week 1 against Kansas City in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know what? I need to get some kind of Brazil, sound here in the this thing. Let me see if this one will work. Yeah, I don't know. Nope. Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, see, there's too many music things. If I use the music things, YouTube doesn't like it. So yeah. Anyway, so but I'm excited about that. So I mean, I think it matters though a ton because that Hampton needs to step up or whatever. Because as we get into the conversation of injuries, apparently Najee Harris is still suffering from that eye injury that he had from July, and so like. It's very possible that Hampton could be running back 1 on week 1, and so and he may end up being week 1 or the running back run for the entire season, so, and this could be really mean this that we need to rely on him and he needs to be absolutely ready for that game. And so because obviously as we all knew and saw that we had a pretty decent run game with J.K. Dobbins, but it was, I would say, inconsistent. But whenever we did get over 100 yards per game, we ended up winning those games. So that's why it's important that we actually do get this thing going. And we need to get that ground running and have Hampton get to that 100 yards per game. Let's make it happen. 1,700 yards, rookie running back season. Let's go. Let's get it. I want that. Anyways, hey, I don't know if that's ever possible, man. I would be a happy clam. That's for sure. So yeah. So man, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited about Hampton? Let me know in the chat. While you do, I'm gonna kind of get back and look at some of your questions. Miguel says, "Are you down with BBC?" Yes, sir. Of course, I'm down with the BBC. I'm part of. I got the BBC. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's all about the BBC up in this house. Yes, sir. A big question. Another question from Miguel actually said more on point. Do you think Hampton will take the starting role? And that's technically it. I think it's very possible that Omarion Hampton can take the starting role because, let's face it, Najee Harris is suffering from an eye injury, and he's running out there with like one eye closed, one eye open, and I guess, and he's kind of missing practice. He's not actually putting in the reps and getting out there, and he's gonna fall flat on week 1 or whatever. But I mean, I think it's very likely that Hampton may take the role away from Najee Harris, kind of like J.K. Dobbins did for Gus Edwards. Hey, I ain't gonna be mad at it, just because especially if Hampton actually does perform well, So, all right, Carlos has a comment there. Let's go, Jim Harbaugh, Trey Lance, and Navarro Bowman versus the former team, the 40 Winers. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, guys. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what happens on Saturday. So hey man, and I really do. I honestly do enjoy these Niner games for some reason. I would have because actually it does bring me back to a lot of things. Because to be perfectly honest, my first ever Chargers game that I can remember, at least, was at 49ers stadium, like obviously the older one, because yes, I'm an old man. I got the old man beard, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was preseason games for the Niners were hosting the Chargers out there. Like in my growing up, one of our friends actually, his dad had like tickets, and he knew that we were Chargers fans. He was a big Niners fan, so he took us there. So like I said, guys, I in my childhood, I was very close. It was very close for me to be a Niners fan and not a Bolt fan, like I could have been, part of the Niners, fandom and stuff like that, and yeah, I don't know. It just never stuck with me, because, like I said, like I hear the Bolt Bros, like, it's, friends are not important to me because you know what our motto is?
I got family.
It's all about the Bolt fan, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That was in my head the entire time. Yes, like, yeah, we got some more people in the chat here. What's up, Carlos? Good to see you. Thank you for the comment there. Yeah, and let's see. But Carlos just says, oh, he hates the 49ers because they beat us in the Super Bowl. Yes, of course. That's always going to be the big thing. That Steve Young and Jerry Rice. They got together and man, they were just a freaking match made in heaven apparently. And so like they got out there and just won a whole bunch of like games together. And it was a really good run to be a Niners fan. And well, that was just unfortunate for us because we got smoked, So yeah. Let's see. And then Guzman said it was very consistent with Gus to bust, like 1 yard per carry. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't say that, they didn't, the Chargers didn't try to make him work, whatever, do well, whatever. But yeah, you know what, guys, you know what, I'm messing up here. I'm messing up here, guys. I realized that I had this, some slides ready, but I didn't even pull them up here. So like, this is, man, I just get too excited to talk, So like I said, but yeah, man, Omarion Hampton, I think so far has been a lot more consistent than obviously Gus Edwards has. And so that's a good thing. But let's see what Otto Williams says here. So didn't like the pick, but after watching Jamari Caldwell, he's a stud. Yeah, 100%. I don't think I have a picture of Jamari Caldwell or whatever, but let me just, yeah, Caldwell has been amazing. He's been really good for that defensive line and stuff, So I 100% agree. I feel like, Caldwell has really stepped up and he's actually, on pace to be like a staple of that line. However, I don't believe he's going to take the starting role. I think that role is going to go to obviously TR Tart, and a couple other players. It's like Tito Obonia. It's going to be out there and stuff like that. So I just don't know. I mean, maybe if we get in a 4-3 lineup or whatever, I think Caldwell will line up next to TR Tart or something like that. So that'll be good. Oh, guys, we got Larry up in the chat.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
That's just for you, baby. What's up, my man? Anyways, yeah. So let's kind of keep moving. So yeah. Roland, like the smooth look, Kyle. Nice shirt and that cool bolt necklace, rocking it, brother. Yeah, thank you, Roland. Appreciate the comment. Yeah. Yeah, like I said before, I just got off work and just kind of jumped on the show and wanted to chat with you guys about some football, for at least a little bit. Honestly, I am deadly tired right now, and hopefully I'm not trying to show that to you guys. I'm not making excuses, but yeah, I do need to get some sleep tonight. You know what I'm saying, guys? Yeah. Anyway, so let's move on to the next topic here. I wanted to talk about is some of these absences that we've had, So yeah, so let's move on to something. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So obviously the first one right now is of course Quentin Johnston. Since his injury, sustained concussion, more than likely from last week, he's been missing a lot of practice and stuff like that, and that's very, very much expected in that situation. He got clocked pretty hard in the jaw, and there's kind of I don't know, man. That was not happy to see. And I fully admit, I cursed his name as soon as he dropped that pass. When he actually, was throwing the ball. And then, of course, I instantly regretted it when he was not getting up from the ground. And so my heart's out to him. Honestly, I hope he does recover, and I hope he does, get better soon. Because the reality is that we are critical of him on this show because we want him to do better. We want him to catch those balls. We want him to get the yards, and we want him to succeed. And when he doesn't succeed, it's very frustrating for us, So, and I'm sure it's even more frustrating for him. At least I hope it is, because he needs to actually, and that's because that's part of his job. And so, at the same side, it's like, look, I mean, I don't want to hate on him because of how poorly he's done for us or whatever like that, because he's didn't, he was in a vulnerable position. And Carlos is absolutely right here. They didn't throw a flag or a personal foul thing or whatever, or anything on the player that hit him. And that's what really pisses me off the most. He was in a vulnerable position, totally blindsided, and really just it was basically helmet to helmet there. It was helmet to chin, How is that not sure, he didn't tuck his head down or whatever like that, but that was clearly a targeting kind of thing like that, There's something there needed to happen, So anyways, but that's kind of my second there, for about Quentin Johnston. But there's other players that actually were missing some time here. Apparently this week, Kimani Vidal, Deane Leonard, Jarrett Patterson, of course, Eric Rogers, Junior Colson were also missing a couple of practices and stuff and there's not been many reports about that. They've just been saying, on the tweets from the pop shop, that they weren't out there. They're not practicing. So what's going on there? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So obviously we do know what's going on with Eric Rogers. He's not, obviously he got kind of hurt. He was in those crutches after the game, after having a pretty awesome performance, which unfortunately is probably going to make him get cut. And unfortunately, which I really don't like that. I don't like that idea that, that we're going to let someone like him go. I mean, sure, he was playing lights out in a preseason game against, third and fourth, fifth stringers and stuff like that, But hey, man, balling is balling, and that doesn't matter, at the end of the day, these are all technically professionals out there on the field, and they could run laps around us even on a bad day, even the biggest boys can run laps on us, man. You all saw the guy, homeboy, what's his name? Shoot, this guy here. We all saw him, man. The fool had some wheels. He's like a 6'2", 305-pound freaking monster, and that big boy with the big pick, hey, that dude got some wheels. Dude got all kinds of stuff, man. So hey, it's wild. So anyways, so like I said, guys, there's too much that we could say about all these injuries and stuff like that, but I just want to say my thoughts. Oh, I'm going the wrong way on this slideshow. I'm sorry. I just want to get myself back on track over here. No, that is not the way I was trying to go. I went like a whole bunch of slides in the wrong direction there, guys. Yeah, ball is life, Miguel. That's what's up. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is look, is all these injuries, is that a sign of things to come? We're already getting these injuries in preseason, and we're getting these issues, and I'm just like, guys, what's going on here? Is there something to be said? Like I said, we talk about it every once in a while on the show. We talk about it a little bit, and yet that there just might be a curse, guys. They're just let me just whisper it. Actually, there might be a curse. I don't know. I can't confirm that there is. But I mean, you gotta say it's kind of odd when a player like Najee Harris had 5 years in the NFL, 0 missed games, 0 injuries, over 5 seasons. And how many games is that? That's a lot of games. It's a lot of snaps. It's a lot of carries and stuff like that, Not missing anything, but then, just not even without even playing a game on the team of the Chargers, he gets injured before he even set foot on the field to play anything. Yeah, what the heck is going on, man? Like all these different players are getting hurt, and it's like, hey, I don't know what's going on with this stuff. It's like, it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it, So, yeah. So anyways, Roland makes a comment here though too. Just like Trey Lance, QJ was a first round pick. Took a while, but Trey has finally potentially found the light. And I hope QJ does too. And you know what? There is a possibility that, like we talked about it on our show the other day. So, you see in movies, you see in different TV shows all the time, someone gets bonked on the head and then they all of a sudden become a superstar and like something just starts clicking in their head that now they're just like, they're super intelligent and they're like super, something. So maybe just something needed to get activated in his brain by getting his lights knocked out of him, So, so we can officially say that QJ is signed up. You know what I'm saying? Come on, lights out. Let's make it happen. Let's see. Oh, Tara Edwards. Yeah. All that stuff. Yeah. So QJ saw the light for sure. Anyways, so, but I'll just say this though, so like Johnson's injury, like I feel like I think he should be ready for week 1 though at this point, but I hope that he will see the light and he does actually have the ability to step up for Kansas City game because we absolutely need him to do so, so it is not a question. It is not an ask or whatever, that it's a need, it's like, I'm not asking you to do this. You must do this. So step up to the plate, man. Come on. Yeah. Let's make some magic happen. Let's do it. And for the love of God, can the Chargers not run QJ out of the deep ball like that anymore? Come on. We don't need him out there. He needs to be, running the mid game. That's his thing, right in the thick of things and like using his size to his advantage in those situations. That's it. Anyways, okay, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think or whatever like that too. But the big question that I had too about this whole thing is like, what's going on with Junior Colson? He missed pretty much all last season because of a surgery that he had. And that's like one thing that I want to see. I want to see him do well and I want to see him do good because let's face it, I really think that he has potential to do better, but that's just it. It's just thinking. Nothing's proven. Obviously, we saw his Madden ratings, have been pretty or okay, at least according to Madden 20, last year's Madden. So it's a good thought. It's a good thought, though, So I don't know. What do you guys think here? Miguel has a question here. How many weeks are players out for concussion? I think it's actually 2 weeks, right? But if they put him on the IR, that's a guaranteed 4 weeks off with potential to return at the 5th week or something like that, 5th and 6th weeks or something like that, So, so if someone goes on IR, that's it pretty much, he's not going to be ready week 1, So I hope not, so, yeah, you're right, Carlos. Yeah. Jim Hart does bring players back to life. Trey Lance and QJ will have that moment soon. And they did with homeboy that's on the Rams now, So, and they did that with Elijah Molden, and of course we kept him and stuff like that. So that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. What's up, Philip? How you doing, man? Bolts up, my baby. That's what's up. Yeah, Bolton time. He has to have concussion protocol, I believe. Yeah, and I think like I said, I think it's 2 weeks, but they have made exceptions at times, for like, I think what's his name, Tua Tagovailoa is constantly on concussion protocol, but he continues to play. I mean, that fool is going to probably be like have Parkinson's disease by the time he retires and stuff like that. Unfortunately, man, like how many concussions he's already sustains. Let's see, Marlo Wax should be ahead of Folsom right now. Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah, I can see that happening for sure, man. I mean, hey, Marlo is doing good. That's for sure, man. We get some players out there and they balling out, So Yeah, so let me move on to the next topic there, because I did want to just actually we'll just kind of focus on more of these injuries and stuff like that, that we have because honestly it's a big concern, that I have because especially since the cuts, like I said, are coming up and stuff like that, so but apparently I don't know if you caught this, but just yesterday Tre Harris actually left practice early on the 20th. Or was that Tre Harris? Maybe I wrote my note down here wrong. You know what? No, it was Najee Harris. Yeah, sorry. It was Najee Harris left practice a little bit early on the 20th, because he actually came off that recent eye injury still, he's still good dealing with that, but according to the coaches, he's still expected to be ready for week 1. Maybe he just had an eye appointment or something like that, like we said, we Bolt Bros are very hopeful that he's going to recover because we do understand that the eye is a very resilient kind of organ or whatever, and it just comes back and you're able to get it worked pretty soon, so yeah. But good news is too, this is actually the biggest news, that, and James I think already talked about it a little bit, that Mekhi Becton was back at practice after a couple weeks absences, and not doing much or whatever like that, so he was limited in capacity though, doing some side work and stuff, so but because of Rashawn Slater being out for the season already, Becton is absolutely critical for that offensive line now, so obviously we know he's not on the left tackle side where we need some help there, obviously because of Joe Alt, whatever, but he's on the right guard side to help out Pipkins, because as we know, because Pipkins ain't easy, so we need to actually just make sure that and keep our fingers crossed that Becton is going to end up doing okay and he's going to stay with the team and not have any injuries issues too, no, none of this curse. The curse does not affect him, yeah. But there's also something else that happened though too. Trey Lance apparently has had his hand kind of wrapped up, and he was kind of dealing with something as well, man. So there's some kind of injury bug that goes on in the camp right now. It's going on in practice during the preseason, man. So I don't really get it, but with that said, because of Trey Lance's performance that he's had so far in preseason and in camp and still being out there with despite an injury potential, in nursing something, he may end up locking down that QB2 spot over Taylor Heinicke. And I think that would be a huge thing, man, because let's face it, Taylor Heinicke, I can't even speak, has just not been showing up, it's sure, he might be able to be there and kind of work on the the playbook and kind of keep the conversations with Justin Herbert in check and making sure that they're all doing something the correct way and whatever. But hey, man, if Trey Lance is actually able to step up in a bigger way, I think we go for him. I think he needs to be QB2. And here's the reason why too. I kind of briefly talked about this at one of our shows, and but we kept moving on or whatever. But the reason why Trey Lance is actually such an important piece as a potential QB2 is because that's what helps the actual team get better against running quarterbacks, similar to Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or even Jared Allen over at the Bills. Is it Jared Allen? Sorry, no, that's a defensive lineman or whatever. So like I say, guys, I'm tired. My brain doesn't brain right now, and so. But if we have a quarterback like Trey Lance out there who has that mobility factor behind him, it does prepare the defenses better against those types of quarterbacks and those types of offenses and stuff. So that's why I think that we absolutely must go with Trey Lance at QB2 over Taylor Heinicke. Yeah, we should keep Taylor Heinicke because it's better to have someone who's been around the league for a while and someone who's actually seen a lot of different teams and knows all these different coaches and can actually kind of give us some insight towards all those different offenses and how they think, what the coaches are doing, blah, 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 blah. But that's just it, so anyways, so that's kind of where my head's at when it comes to these injuries and QB2 stuff like that, and and I'm gonna throw out a quick little bonus for you guys, So I know this is a hot topic right now, but Micah Parsons, basically apparently has a deal on the table right now with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Like I think it's like $25 million or something like that, that he stands to make this season. By staying on the Cowboys, but of course he's like potentially now holding out. And the idea is, obviously he wants more money. He wants to get a new contract and stuff like that, or trade him. And at some point he may end up actually doing that, So, but the cards are on his table if he can actually, prove and show that he is willing to commit to sitting out the entire season to get more money, and the Cowboys start losing, then and they're not getting to the quarterback, they're not putting pressure on or whatever, all this different stuff, then he knows that he has the power, and he can actually turn things around for the Cowboys and stuff. So, and the odds are too is like if the reality is though too, honestly, I think there's a snowball chance in hell that we'll get him on the Chargers. I really don't believe it's possible. Like, sure, we have $30 million in cap right now for this year. Plus also we have, a ton more next year, but how much, I just don't see it happening. I don't see Ortiz, going after him and making that deal and spending all that money for just one player. It's okay. And I'm happy with that too. So I'd rather, like I said, I've always had this philosophy. I'd rather have 3 players at paying $10 million a year than one player at 30, or for that matter, I would totally want to buy, 6 players at $5 million a year, even at that point too, so, or something in between, a couple for 10, couple for 5, So when it comes to that money game, that's kind of the way I am. Sorry, guys. If I was ever a GM, I would be probably pretty hardball on those players and their contracts and stuff like that, So, but it would be it, it's the money game, I guess, So yeah. Anyways, though, but I digress. Kind of wrap it up a little bit though, So Omarion Hampton has been doing really well. In camp, I really like what he's got going on like that, and I'm excited to see how far he goes. Practices and injuries, going crazy like this. I don't understand what's going on. Honestly, like I do want to talk a little bit more, but I think I'm going to save some of the thoughts that I have for our show tomorrow for the pregame. Well, actually, I guess James and Andrew, they'll probably do a pregame before. Or before I even get home. So like they may do it like in the afternoon or something like that. So keep your eye out on YouTube. We'll actually get something done. So let me read into your comments here real quick. Roland says, hopefully the Bolts can pick up some quality offensive linemen from other teams when cuts are made. Yeah. And I think that's also the hope, the reason why we actually have, $30 million in cap right now. So that way we can make some good deals and go out there and grab some boys, So yeah, that'd be good. That'd be real good. Carlos says Chef Ortiz has to cook next week when roster cuts happen. Yes, exactly. And that's a big thing though too, is like, so speculation is out there, a lot of these players that are injured currently right now, like they might not be making the team, like there's not actually, there's a very real possibility that they might not be able to stick around. But obviously, it's a big time. It's a scary time, and this is an unfortunate time. So come Monday, it's going to be down to 53, and that's really not a good thing. It's just that. So let's just do this though for this point. So coming up on August 23rd for the Saturday game, let's all just do the best that we can to really just enjoy the moment with the players that we have, because this is the last time that some of them might even be able to play for a long time. This really could be like, some people, they might not they more than likely will not get the shot, and they may not find a team to end up on. So they'll just be sitting there waiting, and then they'll be watching the season, just like the rest of us. And so let's just enjoy what we have right now and just really thank all the Charger players that have currently played on this team for the season. And I really, really hope that they all do really well because in life, and I hope that they do end up on a team because, I always say this. I know there are players out there that have kind of done the Chargers wrong or whatever, but the reality is, it's like once they're a Charger, they're always a Charger in my head. And I do, from the bottom of my heart, I still, I do have a little bit of love for Ryan Leaf, a little bit of love for, Antonio Cromartie and Eric Weddle and, Manti Te'o and, freaking whoever else, whoever played on the team, they're part of my memories and they're part of my childhood. They're part of my fandom. And I thank them for being on the team and stuff like that, So anyways, guys, but yeah, so like I said, though, too, let me just reping this here. We do have, like I said, a contest going, or not a contest, basically a giveaway going. All you got to do is just click on that link and actually sign up, you use your email. And, I think there's other ways to win, I believe. And you'll be able to have the option to, pick a hat from the store, and it will be the one that more than likely the design that I have in there, or it could be a newer one, So but we got a lot of cool things going on right there for the show. And obviously, if you did want to actually find some other merch, whatever, that you can also purchase something from our store. It's pretty cool. We got some good stuff out there. I think it, I did the wrong code or whatever that, so, but yeah, I think we have some links in the bio or something like that, so there's somewhere around here. So go ahead and do that and, take a look at what we got there, but you also have a chance to win some merch absolutely for free by watching the game with me and the rest of the Bolt fam on Twitch. Again, exclusive to Twitch. All you got to do is you give us your score prediction and you pick the winner. Whoever has the, chooses the correct winner plus gets the closest to the total and the spread, and the actual score and all that stuff will potentially win something from the Bolt Bros for every single watch party that we have. And the reason why we're doing this giveaway is because nobody won last week because everyone chose the Chargers to win and we lost. So that's kind of the way it does it. So so we'll keep it going like that, guys. But yeah, guys, that's a wrap for me tonight. Like I said, I really do need to get some sleep or whatever. I need to kind of wrap up because my brain is literally just toasted this week. I'm absolutely cooked. And guys, we do now have memberships activated for the channel. So if you did decide that you wanted to join, you can get on this BBC. That is the Bolt Bros Club, and we can you can ride on top with that and have a little bit of taste of the lightning and thunder and be part of something with us. And by doing so, you'll be able to get new emojis. You'll get a badge with your name. You'll get super chats for doing it. You get priority for any chats and things like that, So, but it is awesome. And as always, guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the video. Thank you so much, Pappy, for joining for the team. And I did see there's just Bolt Popper is showing some love to the vets and the rookies pre cut day and all that stuff, So, and TNT says, let me just answer this question before I go. What do you think Hampton's chances are? Sorry, we're late. Hampton has very good chances. I think he has a good chance of actually taking over the running back one situation, and I 100% believe that that we will see that this is Omarion Hampton season for 2025, baby. All right, guys. So yeah, I appreciate you all the love and support for the channel. And we're trying to think about something we could do. We'll probably do another big giveaway or whatever for when we hit 8,000 subscribers, guys. So like and follow, subscribe and share with your friends, because when we hit the 8,000 mark, I think we're going to do another giveaway. And by the way, Miguel, come on, man, you got to hit me up. Let me know which game you want to go to because you are the top points winner for season. So just let me know what game you want to go to, and we'll get you those tickets straight away. So, but yeah, man, come out and watch the game with me on Twitch. I'll have it up. We'll be sitting there chatting. You'll get my reactions. We'll have a good time. And as always, like Roland says, Bolt Bros, let's go!
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.